Hey guys! Welcome to our Japan trip video! Here's our arrival in Kansai Airport in Osaka. So when we arrived, there was this train thing that we had to ride to get to the main lobby of the airport. And in the airport, there was this really cool Nintendo exhibition that was happening.
So I played Super Smash. What's it called? Super Smash Brothers. It was really fun. As you can see in the screen, there was this little kid wearing the orange shirt and red shirt. He asked me to leave because he was really spoiled, and I was playing with him. Then I won a bunch of times, and he's just really spoiled, and he's just like, it was really funny.
Okay, so the Kansai airport is connected to its own subway and train station, which is actually really cool. So from the airport, we rode the train, the Haruka train, to go to Tennoji Station, which is a station that is located near the hotel that we will be staying in Osaka.
So it was a really long ride. I slept for 15 minutes, about 15 minutes. I've been awake for about 20 minutes. Then I slept like 15 minutes before we arrived. That woke me up because we arrived at Tennoji Station. I was really tired, but yeah.
Okay, so basically this was the first train we rode, and we got to view like some really cool landscapes of Osaka. And yeah, as you can see in the video. Then we finally arrived in Tennoji Station. And in this train station or subway station, we finally went to our first Family Mart. And it was really cool because there were so many choices of snacks and foods. It was the first one I actually visited in this trip.
So once we arrived in the hotel, we were locked outside, so we just ate our food while we were waiting.
Yeah, we were locked outside. But then we finally got inside the hotel, and it was like a traditional Japanese style room. That night, we decided to go to Dotonbori. Dotonbori is this really famous shopping place. That night, it was a really jam-packed night. The streets were really full of people, and it was very lively.
So we bought some beef from like a beef restaurant in this Dotonbori place. We sat in the middle of nowhere in like a bench. It was the food was really good. We bought some onigiri and some beef. So yeah.
Okay, so while my parents and my family are eating Kobe beef, I got the usual from Family Mart.
Oh, what?
Rice balls,
That's not fair.
some pudding, and onigiri.
What are you doing?
Stop! This is what it looks like on the inside. Okay, next I'm gonna try out these beans and cheese balls. It's pretty good.
Why are you talking to yourself?
Making a vlog. This jelly I bought was really nice. It was really sweet and tasty. Now in Dotonbori, you can find the very infamous Glico Running Man, which is a very famous tourist spot for taking photos.
It was really jam-packed there. We went inside the train and then I actually bumped into the window because there were so many people. I couldn't breathe there.
Yeah, because it was the time where people come back from work.
Yeah, I almost suffocated there.
When we came back to the hotel, we ate some more mini market food. The egg sandwich is one of my favorites. We also bought natto and an onigiri. The onigiri was really tasty, and also the natto. I know a lot of people are scared of trying natto because it smells bad and it looks bad, but trust me, it tastes pretty good. And it's really fun to mix it around. Okay. And the next day, we had our trip to Universal Studios. And this is on our way to go to the Universal City Station. We got to sit next to the train conductor, which is really cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. I saw them drive the train. It looks pretty hard actually, not gonna lie. So I kind of almost laughed.
Yeah, we finally arrived in Universal City Station, and it's really convenient because right when we got out of the station, we were directly in the entrance for Universal Studios. I mean, it's a short walk from the actual entrance, but it's pretty cool.
So it was really cool. When we got there, it was directly connected from the train station. Hogwarts!
Take a look at that. Oh my god. So freaking cool.
Sorry for laughing. So when we got to the Universal Studios, there's this huge globe with smoke all over it. It's really cool. Well, yeah, it's really cool. There's a bunch of people now, but since there's coronavirus now, we cannot ride it, or we cannot go near that people because the people has coronavirus. Definitely.
So yay, we're finally inside of Universal Studios. Unfortunately, that day it was a very rainy day, so in the first few hours that we were inside, it was very rainy. Okay, so we're trying to get a Harry Potter, and we're like right here.
So we were going to Hogwarts. When we went to Hogwarts, it was it was still rainy actually. Before we went to Hogwarts, we bought some churros. Yeah, okay. Sorry.
It was delicious. I ate it.
I ate one. So when we got out of Hogwarts, there's this creepy song playing in the middle of the entrance.
Yeah, it was so cool. We had to walk like a lot to go to the entrance, and it was like we were going inside a portal to a different world, right?
Yeah, it was creepy. And then when we were entering, we were just chilling, entering, and there's this huge car crash there. It was a huge flat floating car. I remember from the movie. It's a magical car that can fly.
The scenery in Harry Potter World was so cool, guys. It was so realistic.
が出ているからみんなで一緒に広々とした外で宿題をすることにしたの。
We're ready to start. Shall we empty the trunk so we can get our school supplies?
アローハモラ
First try, well done! Alohomora, Standard Book of Spells, Chapter 7, right? Sonotori. Leviosa.
Then we decided to buy some really ice cold butter beer.
Yeah, it was really good. It was really creamy and it tasted like caramel. If you go to Indonesia, I would really highly recommend.
Yeah, it was like soda that tasted like caramel with creamy stuff on top. It was so delicious. Then afterwards, we went to look around at the merchandise, like the wands at Ollivanders.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was when my sister was watching the wands, I was sitting
In the streets. Yeah, and then I also visited the candy store. It's really cool. I really love the packaging of all the candies. I remember in high school I used the packaging as inspiration for a lot of my artwork, and that's the main reason why I really love visiting theme parks as well. But all the merchandise was really expensive, so I didn't really buy anything. So that's it, and that's all for our Universal Studios trip on that day. And here's a video of us going back to our hotel. But before we went back to our hotel, we decided to visit the mall thing next to the train station, inside the train station. We went to the third floor, which was really full of really amazing restaurants, and they had these really cool fake foods in front of them. It's really cool. Japan is really amazing at making fake food sets.
So, yeah, when we went inside the restaurant, it was really good. There was the best tempura ever.
Yeah, the best tempura I've ever eaten in my life.
Yeah, it was the best ever. I love Japan. I miss Japan.
What did you eat?
I ate beef and tempura and some soup.
Yeah, it was
Ramen.
really delicious.
Yeah.
Nanti berantakan. Jadi ambilnya nggak boleh lebih dari 3. Udah. Cukup.
And here's our trip to Kyoto.
Yeah. But before I wake up, my sister filmed me. Oh my god, my eyes were open mostly.
Yeah, my brother sleeps with his eyes open. Okay, so this is a tour of the hotel that we stayed in. Everything was self-service. There was practically like 0 staff there, so we had to go inside the hotel by ourselves. And they also gave like a rental for free shampoo and conditioner. So you just bring it up to your room and then put it back when you're done with it.
And they also have this free tea dispenser. So you can get like green tea, brown rice tea, oolong tea, and coffee, regular water, free cups. And the road also leads to the Tennoji station. It's just a quick walk from here.
That day we went from Osaka to Kyoto using the Shinkansen train. Here we are in the train station getting ready to board our Shinkansen train. Usually people can buy bentos and snacks beforehand so they can eat in the Shinkansen train.
Yeah, sorry for laughing so ugly and hard like a minute ago. So when we went inside the Shinkansen train, I stole my sister's onigiri while the train was riding, so it was a bit bumpy actually. Yeah, that onigiri I stole it from my sister because I was really hungry.
Yeah, we barely even had time to eat in the train because it was so fast. Like, from the time we boarded the train, it only took us like 15 minutes to go to Kyoto, right?
But it was really, really fast. It's supposed to be bumpy, but actually it's really, really smooth in a train ride.
Yeah, it was super smooth and really enjoyable. Actually, we accidentally sat in like the VIP seats, remember?
Yeah, but
and then the security guard was like, "Sorry, ma'am, but you're supposed to be in the like peasant seats."
oh my god, yeah.
When we arrived, we first visited the tourist information spot. It was really helpful.
So when we're for some reason my dad was like
The lady at the counter.
she gave me an origami frog that could actually jump really high. It was really cool. I liked it.
If you haven't noticed yet, going to Japan means that you're going to be walking around the city a lot because in Japan people love to walk and it's just in their culture. They usually use the subway and they walk a lot.
Yeah, I like in Japan because they don't burn as much as fossil fuels as much as Indonesia and India.
Yeah, go climate change.
Yeah, and plus
Prevention.
Japan is people doesn't pee in the middle of nowhere and people doesn't.
Oh
throw
yeah,
trash.
the toilets in Japan are so clean, and
Yeah.
it's like there's so many buttons in the next to the toilet. So
Yeah.
like yeah.
And then when you wash your hands, there's like
Automatic
yeah,
stuff.
automatic stuff.
Yeah, it's so cool. There's seat warmers in the toilet too.
Yeah, it's really good.
On the way to the Fushimi Inari Temple, I saw these really cool grilled mochi things, and I bought some.
Green tea. This one is soy sauce flavored.
There are many cool dessert shops and souvenir shops on the way to go to the temple. And basically in Japan, there's so many really cool like souvenir shops. As you can see here, there was a chopstick shop.
And there's a bunch of stickers actually. It was really cool there. It was really enjoyable. I love nature.
Yeah, so
Japan.
much nature. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You can also rent kimonos, as you can see in the background.
Yeah.
Both flavors.
Green leaf, original.
So I'm eating this.
Right next to the temple, they were selling these grilled mochi things again. It was really tasty. It had soy sauce on top of it. So this day we were visiting the Fushimi Inari Taisha Shrine, which is an important Shinto shrine located in southern Kyoto. It's famous for its orange torii gate.
So when we went into the temple, we went through these weird orange gates.
We had to climb a lot of stairs too. And
Yeah.
you can see these fox statues a
Yeah.
lot. It's really beautiful, and then you can see a portrait of my little brother here.
Okay, so we had to go through these orange gates, and it's really, really long. I don't know why. I thought it was really like a short, walk, but it was really long. It was like 2 kilometers.
Yeah, and it's kind of hard to take pictures because there's so many tourists at that day.
So when we arrived here, there was this really good custard pancakes. It was so
It's called
good.
dorayaki.
Yeah, it was teriyaki. It's really good. It was like custard cream pancakes, really good.
Before you know it, it was time to go back to Osaka. So before we went back, there's always these vending machines and we bought a couple of drinks. I bought peach flavored water, which is so cool and really tasty. And again, we rode the Shinkansen back.
The Shinkansen was really fun. After that, there's more left in.
And then I tried some of the infamous custard pudding that night. This was the day we went to Osaka Castle! And before we went to the Osaka Castle, we decided to buy these cheesecakes in the Tennoji station that we've been passing by so many times.
It was really good. I liked it. It was really jiggly, like my
Yeah, it's the famous jiggly Japanese pancakes,
really
and it's
jiggly,
so
like my-
tasty. But I ended up eating like 90% of the cheesecake.
Yeah, and I didn't even leave 10% from me.
So satisfying to watch it get made. The NHK building is located near the Osaka Garden Castle thing, and we basically had a picnic in the garden,
Yeah.
in the park.
The view of that place was so cool. It was so
Yeah,
beautiful.
it was so beautiful.
And we buy some onigiri in like a shop and stuff.
Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't go into the castle area because my mom was kind of tired. Because it is a long walk, but then we decided to go to a halal ramen place.
Barely even find halal places. But
Yeah,
it was
it's really hard
good.
to find halal
Yeah,
places.
Yeah, it was really good. For some reason, I didn't know how. It was really good there. My dad ended up, for some reason in the restaurant, I was not even impatient. I was like impatient because I wanted to eat, but he ended up being mad at me.
Yeah, there's also a musalla there, or prayer room there. So for those of you who are Muslim, if you're around Osaka Garden or in Osaka, then you can go to this place.
Yeah.
I ordered Japanese curry and ramen there. It was pretty good.
木の屋根の上に小さい屋根薪を使用して煮炊きをしましたので煙がこもるんですね。それを出すための今の換気装置ですね。
So then after that, we went to the Osaka Museum of Housing and Living. Now you might think that it's really boring, but it's actually a really cool place, right?
Yeah, it was actually really beautiful. And then there's like a scenery, and then the sky had like a green, like lights, and then it looks like a real old Japanese place.
Yeah, the place is really cool because when you go inside of the exhibition area, it's almost as if you're living in the Edo period, which is like the like the old era of Japan before industrialization. And it's really cool. It's like almost as if you're in an actual village.
Yeah, it looks. When I went inside one of the buildings, and I couldn't believe how people would live without technology a long time ago.
Yeah, they have really cool traditional houses, and you can go inside of the rooms, right?
Yeah, but I didn't know how people cook stuff though, without the technology and electricity and stuff. So weird.
Yeah.
Probably they use wood.
Later that day, we decided to visit Dotonbori again. This time, we rode a boat ride in the river thing.
The boat ride,
The boat ride was in front of Don Quixote, which is this really cool like market thing where you can find lots of stuff for a cheap price. There were so many like Kit Kats and snacks, and also Lululemon masks for those of you who are into beauty. And yeah, so here we are riding the boat.
the boat ride was really, really long. It keeps turning around when I'm going in circles.
It was really cool because you got to see a different perspective of Dotonbori, the perspective from the river. I've never rode the boat previously before this, so it was a really cool experience. You get to see so many sceneries. Later that night, we were looking for a halal place to eat, and we found this restaurant called Chibo. It's really nice for Muslims because it's on a third floor and you don't have to go through the waiting line. They have halal foods and they also have a prayer room. It's so cool. I ordered an okonomiyaki. It's delicious.
I ended up ordering steak and it was really good. And then the waiter was like a Philippine, Indonesian waiter. So like she know how to talk Indonesian. It was really cool. We ended up taking a photo with each other.
Next day, it was time to say goodbye to Osaka and say hello to Tokyo!
Well, okay, now we're waiting for our train to go to the airport.
Yeah, so we're just gonna buy something from the vending machine.
Okay,
There's like coffee. I mean, Japan's pretty famous for its vending machines, right? Yeah, and here's the train tracks. We're still waiting. What do you want, Nofal?
Just want this water.
Seriously?
Yeah, this water.
Okay, so I got this one. It looks kind of interesting because it's strawberry and coffee at the same time. There's a straw. Okay, now I'm gonna try this. Okay, so the review for this one is meh. Breakfast, I'm eating this breakfast. I'll show me your origami.
Okay, so here I just stack this into here. Then I have to get this frog up to origami like that. Then just I have to hit this falcon-looking ostrich. It's really hard to knock it down.
I bought the breakfast set once we arrived in the airport. So basically in Japan, they like to mix raw eggs in rice, and it's actually quite tasty, but don't do it if you live in Indonesia.
Because it has worms. Pikachu! Giant Pikachu!
God, so much stuff. So much cute stuff in here.
Okay, so in this scene, we basically kind of got lost. We were supposed to go to Mount Fuji, but we ended up in this cultural village thing. And in this place, we just ate in a restaurant and bought some souvenirs. And we had to ride a taxi back to the bus station. And we almost like didn't get to the bus station on time. Remember?
Yeah.
So this random Japanese guy had to call us a taxi. They had more mochi snacks, and we ate in this restaurant where there was this Filipina waitress, and she can speak Japanese. It was so cool, and her English was really good, which really helps a lot because not a lot of people in Japan actually are very fluent in English.
Yeah, that was good. Don't eat my
Then on another day, we visited Shibuya. Shibuya is famous for its crosswalk streets full of people. And as I've mentioned before, Japanese people really like to walk and use public transportation. So here I am walking through the streets of Shibuya. It's really cool.
So in Shibuya, we ended up taking 500 photos. It was really, really fun. It was really, really crowded. It's really, really hard to beat there. But even though it's in the nature and there's trees and it provides oxygen, people still, it was really hard to beat still. Yeah, so yeah.
We didn't stay in Shibuya for too long because we decided to go to Yokohama. So we rode a subway to Yokohama because our relative lives there, and we got a tour of the place by going with their car. And here we are going through the train station, which is connected to a hotel.
First thing you want to do is go forward and go in the station. Then you want to kick the kid. Yeah.
So we went around Yokohama with my relative's car, and it turns out that Yokohama is actually a pretty cool place. I kind of regret not visiting the city for a much longer time than that. We only visited for like 1 hour.
Yeah, I miss. This is the day. This is the day before we left Japan. I really missed it. It was kind of like a weird ending. We had to visit our. I had no idea there was our relatives that lived in Yokohama. It was really weird seeing them in Japan. So
Yeah. So then the next day, it was our last day in Japan. So we didn't do anything. We basically just went to the airport on that day. And to be honest, I had a really enjoyable time in Japan. I really missed that place. It was my second time there, but it never gets boring. I wish that we can visit other parts of Japan.
yeah, but this trip has good memories.
Yeah, except for the part where we almost missed our flight in the airport, because the airport has so many cool places for shopping, remember?
Yeah,
And
but
we almost missed our flight.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was our plane ride back to our hometown. It's so pretty. We get to see the clouds and the horizon and everything. I really hope that we get to visit Japan again.
Yeah, hopefully.